All right. Welcome, everybody, to the first ever Workshop Weekly podcast. We call it that because we are going to try to upload. No, we are going to upload once a week. Today is October 31st. Happy Halloween. It is a full moon tonight, and I think it's a great night to record our first podcast. So, my name is Tyler Weis,
And my name's Dillon Peter.
and we are sitting here today in our workshop. So the plan for today is to go over how we got here and what we plan on doing for the next year, decade, I don't know, however long we do what we do.
Yeah, so I think I'll start by telling us a little bit about our shop. We're located in Petaluma, California, just north of San Francisco, here in the beautiful Bay Area. Both me and Tyler were born and raised here in Petaluma, and we've actually known each other for most of our lives. We went to elementary school together, junior high, high school, all the way through together. But we both have a little bit of different backgrounds when it comes to what we do. And, we think that those two backgrounds should come together nicely to accomplish everything that we're trying to do here in our workshop. So I'm going to let Tyler talk a little bit about his background.
Yeah, so basically, I'm a mechanic by trade. Right out of high school, I went to UTI, the automotive school, not the urinary tract infection. Um, and yeah, I went there, ended up going to a Mercedes program after that. And yeah, I've always loved working on cars. My grandpa was a real handyman. He used to watch me and my brothers in his barn, and I would watch him build things all day. He worked on boats and different things. So yeah, I've always had a background just working on different things and been really good with my hands. And then Dylan has basically not really built much shit before, but when it comes to building shit in another way on 3D design, you've done a ton.
Yeah, so like Tyler said, my background is more in art and design. I went to the Art Institute of San Francisco. I studied 3D modeling with a focus on video game development. So I have a lot of background in digital art and media and 3D modeling. And so I'm looking to bring some of these design elements in and combine them with Tyler's hands-on technical skills. And hopefully, we can learn from each other. He can pick up some of my skills. I can pick up some of his. And hopefully we can build some cool stuff. And that's really what our workshop is all about. That's really our goal and our idea getting started is we just want to build cool stuff. And so with that being said, I'm going to let Tyler talk a little bit about how we found this workshop and what it took to get set up and to where we are right now.
Yeah, so basically, it's been a rough year on all of us, I'm sure, but due to a lot of circumstances in my life, I had to leave the property that I was staying at. And since I'm a mechanic by trade, I own several vehicles. I couldn't count them on my hands if I tried. But yeah, so I have a few vehicles, a few tools, and I needed somewhere to put them. So I had been looking for spots, been thinking about renting just a storage unit or something. And basically, I came across this spot on Craigslist and just came down here, checked the place out, and I was only actually looking at renting out one of the units. We're renting 2 units right now. Basically, one side we are gonna have set up as our wood shop and everything, and reception area. Eventually, once the business is going, and then on this side we kind of have more of the automotive shop, and then the lobby area and our office here, which we're sitting in, and is gonna be the home of our podcast. So basically, I found the spot and really just needed somewhere to put all my tools and didn't really think about like making it a business. And then after seeing both units and everything, and I was like, wow, my buddy Dylan lives like right around the corner from here. I should probably give him a call and see if he'd be interested in this place. So I called Dylan. I'm like, hey, check this place out.
Yeah, so Tyler called me up. It was actually 4th of July weekend, and I was out of town. I was visiting my parents up at the lake house. Um, and Tyler gave me a call. He said, "Hey, I found this place on Craigslist. You should check it out." He sent me over the links to it. I was like, "Wow, this place is right next to my house. This seems pretty neat. Like, I would definitely be interested in renting that." Full disclosure, when I first talked to him about it, I had had a few drinks and was just kind of thought it was going to be another one of those things that we talked about, but never really came to be.
But yeah, when Dillon gave me the green light and he said he was in, I was like, all right. Called the realtors back.
Yeah, so I got back into town, and Tyler was like, okay, so we're viewing the place, and I have the rental application, and I was like, oh, wow, okay, well, I guess we're doing this. I've always kind of wanted to start my own business. It's always been a dream of mine to work for myself. Um, and so I thought, why not? We'll give it a shot. And so I went with Tyler. We came over here, and we viewed the location. Everything seemed pretty good to me. And so I said, "Fuck it, why not? Let's go for it." And so we signed the lease, and then a month later, on August 1st, we got the keys. And it's been quite a journey since then. It's only been 3 months, but if you had walked in here 3 months ago when we first got the keys, you would not recognize the space whatsoever.
Yeah, we've been busy this first quarter, just getting everything put together. Haven't really done much business wise. Been basically moving all my tools in, getting stuff cleaned up. Dylan, that was actually his first project right there, is putting that desk together. He modeled the whole thing up, 3D design first, and then put it together. I don't do 3D models, so I just welded a bunch of wrenches together until I got to the height where I wanted my desk, and then I stopped, and then I had a desk. So yeah, that's how I work, and that's how he works. So it'll be really cool working together. I was really stoked coming in because I knew Dylan like had a really like extensive background doing 3D modeling and stuff. So I really want to get into the technologies that are coming out today, like 3D printing, CNC cutting, and basically right now this 3D printer we have on our desk is basically affordable for anyone to put in their home garage. Anyone can start creating parts tomorrow, order one of these, and just get to building whatever you want. I've seen a lot of people trying to create car parts and all these things, and a lot of people don't have 3D modeling skills, which I am one of those people. I don't know how to 3D model stuff, so I am blessed to have Dylan here to help me out with that, and like he's gonna be able to create some cool shit. And basically, what I have in my mind, hopefully, he could put it on a computer, and then we could put it into reality. That's the plan.
Yeah, and a lot of that plan is really going to involve combining new school technology with old school techniques. And that's really been something we've been thinking about when we've been putting together our shop. We've got a lot of old tools that, belong to our grandparents and are got a little bit of rust on them, a little bit of character to them, but still work. Some of them need a little bit of repair. And then at the same time, we've got brand new 2020 machinery, like this 3D printer and this laser engraver here. And so we're just looking to see how we can combine these things all together, combine Tyler's hands-on knowledge and combine my digital knowledge and see what kind of projects we can come up with. And so that's been a lot of fun putting the shop together because, like I said, when we came in here, it was pretty empty space, pretty blank canvas for us to work with. And so we came in here the first week and we started with just painting the space. We said, we want to, if we're going to be working in here all the time, we want to have a nice looking space. We want it to be looking professional. We want people to take it seriously if anybody comes in here. And so, we scrubbed down all the walls. We put a fresh coat of paint in both workshops. We built some new workbenches and we just set up all of the stations and kind of wanted to figure out how we were going to lay everything out and how we could combine all this stuff together. So, Tyler, why don't you tell them about how we've got the workshops laid out right now and how they're evolving so far?
Yeah. So within the next few weeks, we will be uploading a workshop tour onto our YouTube channel. So you can check out our workshop YouTube channel, and we will have links to our other social media pages up soon. But yeah, so for now, I'll try to explain the layout of the place. So basically, we have two side-by-side units. In the unit on the right, we're going to have our woodworking shop. We created a miter saw station along one wall, and that's going to be our main wall that we're going to house most of our woodworking tools so we can set up dust collection. I plan on eventually doing dust collection ran by like a Raspberry Pi, so we could have automatic blast gates on each dust collector, shutting everything off when we need it, turning the vacuum on or the dust collector on when we need it. And basically, we want to keep the shop automated to as far of an extent as we can, just make life easy on ourselves, have it clean up after itself, have everything done. And that's what's really cool about the technologies that are out there today. We're able to do that and just have everything done on its own. And basically, we could create a part, have this printer printing it out while we go work on something else, come back, our part's ready, and then we get to work. So yeah, basically what was I talking about? Our layout of our shop. So yeah, we have only a few tools in the wood shop so far. We got bandsaw, table saw, miter saw, and then we have a router. We just got to put a new motor on that. And the tool that I'm really excited next month, I'm gonna be looking at getting a CNC router. I'm thinking that's gonna be our big tool for the wood shop that will take care of most projects there. And that should also be able to take care of some aluminum projects I have, and that'll hold me over until we can afford a plasma cutter one day. Dillon, or yeah, let me go over basically the other shop. We have the automotive shop. So, like I was saying earlier, I'm a mechanic by trade. I worked at a luxury car dealer for about 4 years, and then I worked at an independent shop for about a year and a half after that. I acquired quite a few tools in that time. I tried only to buy basically the tools I needed to get the job done. Any special tools I didn't really waste my money on, as some people did in the industry. I could see their toolboxes just stocked up with all these tools they would use once. But yeah, eventually I'll do a full tour of the mechanic shop too, and my toolbox and everything, show you um, basically what we got going on in there. The mechanic shop also is basically our woodworking shop area too, is the plant, or I mean our metalworking shop area. So that way we can keep wood chips and metal chips separate just for fire hazards and everything. And even though we don't plan on having a ton of wood chips, hopefully the majority of it gets taken up into dust collection. But that's the plan. Keep the shop separate. We got my welder in here so far. It's only a small 120 volt welder. I eventually plan on upgrading that. I took a few classes in high school as my only background with welding. I plan on eventually enrolling in probably a few more classes here at the JC in town and getting some more certifications before we start doing that in a business sense. But for now, I have what I need to do, like for my own terms and building art projects and stuff like that, putting this desk together. So Dillon, why don't you talk a little bit about what we've been up to this week?
Yeah, so this week we have been trying to get a few art projects rolling. I've been exploring using the 3D printer and the laser engraver in combination with epoxy resin and seeing what kind of different molds and different designs I can get poured. It's been a lot of fun. I've been able to cut out a few designs using 3mm plywood, and the laser engraver I can actually cut all the way through it. And so I've been able to cut out a few designs and inlay them with epoxy. And today I started experimenting with 3D printing some molds, and hopefully we can try and laying some epoxy in those as well.
Yeah, that's basically where we are at with the workshop. And we'll go over a little bit. Do you want to go over a little bit about where we plan on going with the business, like, and what we want to turn this into, like, in the future, and kind of like.
Yeah, absolutely. So sky's really the limit for the future. As far as immediate goals go, we're trying to open up our storefront by January 1st. So that gives us 2 more months, which is going to be a little bit of a tight schedule, but we've been managing to hit all of our milestones so far. So I'm still confident that it's doable. When we do open up initially, we're probably going to be doing mostly projects, like I said, mostly art pieces. The thing that I'm most excited about with that is the high level of customization that we're going to be able to bring to those projects. We'll be able to basically set up simple digital templates that are reusable, that we can have clients come in and they can add in any kind of text or images or designs that they want, and then we can get those either laser engraved onto any kind of materials, woods, metals, anything, or we can 3D print things.
Yeah, it's really cool that we can do this in our own shop now, because this is like technologies that 10 years ago were only available in full-scale industrial factories, and now we can just laser engrave on our desk while we're sitting here trying not to stare at the dot. Like, anyone who's laser engraved knows what I'm talking about. So yeah, basically we're really excited to just use the technologies we have available to just build some cool shit. And like Dillon was saying, when we first open, January 1st is when we plan on starting our business. And until then, we'll be working on a few projects. And for those of you, I know that a lot of people listening that know me are wondering, oh, can you work on my car January 1st? No, I cannot. I will not. I will not be working on cars Okay, not yet. Let me get everything set up. It'll be a while. I'll let you know. But I will not work on your car yet. Okay, now back to where we were. Basically, that's where we're at. Plan, as Dylan was saying, the sky is really the limit for where we go with this. I've known for a while that I've wanted to go my own path. I couldn't work for somebody else. I've tried it several times, and I end up just wanting to do things a different way, thinking that there's a better, more efficient way to do things or newer technology available that we could be utilizing. So I think it's really cool to finally have a business partner that's as open-minded as me and fucking using all this technology we have, because there's a lot of cool shit available today, and there's a lot of cool shit we'll be buying, a lot of cool shit we'll be building. People don't believe it, but 10 years from now, I tell Tatiana I'll be building a jetpack, because that is now commercially available for like 10 to 20 grand probably. I could build myself a usable jetpack. So once we get a few more tools in the shop, that will be on the list. Hopefully that doesn't get me on like a watch list or something.
I don't think so. I think jetpacks are safe.
Yeah. They just had that dude on the evening news like a week ago, and it's like some random dude on the fucking flying by an airport on the jetpack.
Okay, well, yeah, you can't fly by an airport on the jetpack.
I'm like, but I told you, it's commercially available. Any motherfucker can do that.
If you go out in the middle of the desert and test your jetpack, you should be fine.
Oh, yeah, definitely. We'll take it out to the salt flats.
Yeah, exactly.
Go out on there. But yeah, so basically, yeah, our plan for the shop is to be able to create anything we want. Basically, we plan on using 3D printers, eventually maybe forging and casting, so we'll be able to 3D print stuff and then cast molds and make it into aluminum, whatever, bronze, brass, whatever we can melt down and cast. And hopefully within the next decade, it'll be feasible to get a metal 3D printer, so we could start printing like intake manifolds for vehicles and things like that, turbo manifolds, fucking modify some cars. So yeah, and I'm going to talk a little bit about the projects we have coming up. So if you're a car person, you're definitely going to want to check out the Weis Guy Garage YouTube channel. So that's my YouTube channel that I've been working on for the last couple of years. I haven't really been working on it actually recently in the last year. I've had a lot going on. But this is a channel that I put together where I'm kind of going to cover the vehicles that we're building in here. So the Weis Guy Garage is going to be going over, I have my Ford Taurus SHO that it is now confirmed I will be building that into an off-roader and putting some 33-inch, hopefully, tires on there if I can fit them. I will fit them. I'll cut it and make it fit. So I'll be building that project out. I'll be also probably turning my truck into more of a camper off-roader, so me and Tatiana can do a little more traveling this year and off-roading. So I'll be doing videos on all that on the Weis Guy Garage channel. And then the workshop channel will be kind of going over more of the epoxy pours and the 3D printing, laser engraving side, and what we're doing in the workshop area and on the business side of things in the workshop eventually, once the businesses roll in.
And that's exactly it. For the next couple of weeks, my main focus is going to be playing with this laser engraver and this 3D printer a little bit more, because we've only, like I was saying earlier, we've only been in this space for about 3 months. I think we've only had the 3D printer and the laser engraver for about 2 months. So I'm still playing with them. I'm still testing them out, getting used to using them, seeing what their limits are, seeing what kind of things I can produce with them. And it's starting to come together. I'm starting to get a lot of good ideas. I think I have my workflow almost worked out. I just need to test out a few things. So I'm going to be doing that over the next week. Hopefully soon we'll be able to bring you some videos of a little bit of that process where we can show you how I work from the beginning design phase in here on the computer, and then bringing that through to life with the laser engraver or the 3D printer or both, and then showing how we can hopefully mix in a little bit of epoxy and a little bit of this, a little bit of that, some more razzle dazzle, and see what kind of nice art pieces that we can put together. And then if we can get that process flowing smoothly, then hopefully we can produce enough of a to fill up our storefront here. And yeah, that's kind of our immediate business plan. So,
but yeah, I'm definitely excited to start producing YouTube videos on the content we make, because I was stoked the other day when I was using the bandsaw. Basically, anyone who's used a bandsaw, you know there's like a zero clearance puck that goes in the middle and kind of guides the blade. So I haven't had one because the bandsaw I have is from my grandpa's and it's like 50 years old. So I was like, Dylan, hey, before we do this, cutting out these little coasters that we were going to epoxy pour, we should definitely 3D print a zero clearance puck. Because I've been stoked that we finally have these tools in our shop and this was something we'd utilize them for. So I took the measurements real quick, threw them to Dylan, and within probably, 10, 15 minutes, you had it modeled up and put it in an SD card, and boom, we're printing it out. And 40 minutes later, drop it into place, and it's just a perfect fit. And that was just a really cool moment for me there, watching, like, you take that from just, okay, we need this piece for our tool, take it from a couple measurements I gave you, put it onto fucking 3D design, and boom, it's reality.
Yeah, and something like that sounds simple. It's just a little plastic guard for one of our saws, but it really kind of embodied everything that we're trying to do here. It was everything that we wanted to come together. We had an old school tool that we were repairing with new school technology. Tyler was using his hands-on knowledge, even though it was just taking simple measurements, and then shooting them over to me, and I was able to move it into the digital space and mock up a design for it, and that's exactly what it was everything that we're trying to do here. It's a simple exercise in it, but it was really exciting. It was really kind of that light bulb moment of like, okay, this does work.
Yeah. We can actually apply this and do it in the real world. And now we'll do a video on that one day of just the little puck we fucking created. And it just makes it so much safer using that tool now. And it took us, an hour to get it done. And that's what the workshop is all about. Just using, like Dylan was saying, old school or new school technologies to just restore old school stuff, do things. Like I have these two mopeds that my grandpa had. He gave to me and my brothers when we were kids. And the engine seized on one, and the other one needs a new carburetor. I might put a new carb on it, but I've been debating just yoinking the gasoline engines and putting electric motors and some battery packs in there. So that would be a really cool project to take these old 60s mopeds, give them new school technology, and just turn them into motorcycles that just haul ass. Because electric motors nowadays and the battery technology we have available is able to produce some pretty cool vehicles with insane amounts of torque. Basically, that's where we are. We're sitting in the workshop bullshitting on Halloween night, and I'm looking forward to a year from now listening to this and seeing what we were able to do, and looking back and being like, wow, we were not ready for this last year. We did some crazy shit.
Yeah, and we've already been experiencing that a little bit just in the 3 months that we've been here. Like I said earlier, if you were to walk in here 3 months ago, it's a completely different space. And so we've already had that experience a little bit where, things are coming together a lot faster than we thought. And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of surreal, but it all feels really good. And we're excited to watch it grow. And hopefully you guys will be excited to watch it grow too. We're excited to introduce you guys to it, and we're excited to get some more content up and running. We're excited to start showing you guys what we're working on and what our process is, and yeah, just get you guys excited as we are for some workshop projects.
Yeah, so if you are still listening, thank you for hanging around until the end. I don't know how we didn't bore you to death, but hopefully that means you're really into the type of shit that we're into, and you should subscribe and check out all of our channels. We have the Workshop YouTube channel, the Weis Guy Garage YouTube channel, and this is going to be the Workshop Weekly podcast, which we will upload onto our Workshop YouTube channel and onto any podcast platform that I can find tomorrow when I am finished editing this podcast. So, thank you all for listening. Anyone who did listen until the end. And happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. Thanks, everyone, and we'll see you soon.
Good night.
Good night.
I like that one, all right? Number one in the book.
Yeah, that went pretty not bad.
Yeah.